Once again, Bhagalpur Sahodaya welcomes all the participant schools in this training session. Today's training session is on portfolio and subject enrichment activities. The resource person of today's training session is Mrs. Kavita Harlalka from Open Minds, Bhagalpur School, Bhagalpur. Before starting this session, I would like to call all the participant schools, those who are taking part in this training session. The member schools are as follows: Anand Ram Dhandania Saraswati Vidya Mandir, Bhagalpur; Arya Mission Global School, Bhagalpur; Happy Valley School, Bhagalpur; Bal Bharati Vidyalaya, Naugachia; New Horizon School, Bhagalpur; Diksha International School, Bhagalpur; Techno Mission International School, Bhagalpur; Anand Public School, Sabor, Bhagalpur; Guru Kripa Academy, Kahalgaon; Navyug Vidyalaya, Bhagalpur; St. Paul's Academy, Daryapur, Bhagalpur; Open Minds, Bhagalpur School, Bhagalpur; Swami Vivekanand Public School, Bhagalpur; New Era Public School, Munger; Gathak Public School, Pirpati; Sutaram Mehi Mission School, Kursela, Katihar; Columbus English Academy; Ramkrishna Vidya Mandir High School, Ranuchak, Makandpur; and Saraswati Vidya Mandir, Bihariganj. So total 19 schools are taking part in this training session. So without being late, I would like to call Ms. Kavita Harlalka to carry on this meeting. The topic is subject enrichment, portfolio and subject enrichment activities. So please, ma'am, come onto the podium.
It is the supreme art of the teacher to awaken joy, creative expression, and knowledge. So, I, Kavita Harlalka, wishing all of you a very good afternoon. I'm so thankful of getting an opportunity to stand here and express my opinion on portfolio and subject enrichment activities. As we all know that portfolio and subject enrichment activities are a part of internal assessment. So portfolio, we hear we hear the name of portfolio, but what is portfolio? There's a big question in our mind that what is a portfolio? We keep on hearing this name. So we must have seen the artist, the professional artist, they all carry their portfolios where their work, like their paintings, their different types of artistics. So they accomplish, like they file that in a portfolio, a journal. So we'll see a small video to understand what is a portfolio.
When you go on vacation, how do you remember everything you did? Pictures, tons of pictures. Pictures of landmarks, people you meet, and of course, the food you eat. If you're a writer, you might take notes in a journal about the history of a city, a particularly awkward encounter, and again, the food you eat. When you get home, what do you do with all your notes and photos? You can throw the pictures in a box or mass upload them online. You might lock your journal and place it on a shelf somewhere. But a good vacation is something you will want to share with others. So you set out to make a scrapbook. A scrapbook is an ideal account of your trip, as it contains both evidence and a retelling through words and captions. You can share a scrapbook in more than one way, whether prominently displaying it on your coffee table for guests to peruse at their own leisure, or engaging an audience of interested family with the animated retelling of your adventures. You can be creative, really customizing the layout, appearance, and content of the scrapbook to the experience you had. But a good vacation isn't something you just share once. You go back to it year after year. Tell your grandkids about that time way back when. The scrapbook helps you remember the details of the trip, triggering those forgotten memories. So why all this talk about a scrapbook? You see, like a scrapbook tells the story of your best vacation memories, a portfolio tells the story of your best work throughout pharmacy school. Instead of pictures, your evidence is the various projects, assignments, and presentations you have completed. These are supplemented with the reflections that retell the experience of what you learned. You may get to share your story with an interviewer face-to-face, or your interviewer may peruse it on his or her own time. But even if your interviewer never sees your finished portfolio, it won't matter. You see, through the process of putting together your best work, in other words, sifting through the best photos and reflecting on them in writing, you are subconsciously preparing to share your story later, whether with a prospective employer, a student you are mentoring, or heck, even your grandkids someday. When you go to that tripod-shaped tower in Paris and forget a camera or a notebook, you get frustrated with yourself. Why shouldn't it be the same with an academic adventure?
So we have seen what is a portfolio. The way we put our photos, our memories in a photo album, or we make a scrapbook. So same way the children, they also want to have a portfolio where they can put their certificates, their work, their articles, the photograph of role plays, different activities we do in our school. So the second thing which comes to our mind is, why do we need a portfolio? Why don't we do it as we have done in our school times? So what is the need of portfolio? So before answering this, I would request each one of you is a teacher of some subject. And it is very important that we do justice to the subject we are teaching. We need to understand what kind of skills the subject requires or it deals with, so if we are teaching English, I'm a language teacher of some subject. So what I'll be dealing with, I would be focusing on the 4 skills, that is reading, writing, listening, and speaking. So we need to understand the skills and how we are going to assess the children. With a written test of pen and paper, can we assess all the 4 skills? No, we won't be able to do. We will be able to do only the reading and the writing skill, not the listening and the speaking. So this is where the portfolio and subject enrichment comes in, so that we can do justice to every child. A portfolio is a purposeful collection of intentionally chosen work. So I want you all to stick to the words like purposeful, intentionally, because a portfolio is a collection where we do not put the stacks of paper. हमारे पास कोई भी पेपर है, हमने उसमें डाल दिया? No. That has to be some purpose, like the teacher has designed some activities according to her learning outcomes. As a teacher, we prepare a lesson plan before going to a class. When we are preparing a lesson plan, we know what is the learning objective. So to fulfill the learning objective, we design an assessment. So a portfolio is a purposeful collection of intentionally chosen. Intentionally chosen is like the child has done 15 activities, but might feel that I should file this activity and not this, because maybe I was good in this and I was not very good in that. So, chosen work by a student representing a selection of performances that is assembled over time. We don't do the activity in 1 month to finish the target. We keep on doing activities as and when we teach the subject or the topic, and describes the learner's efforts, progress, growth, and achievement in key areas learning outcomes. So as we have discussed, the teacher decides the learning outcome before he or she enters the class. It is a tool for assessing a variety of skills that are not testable in a single setting of traditional written test. So we know that all the skills cannot be tested through a pen and paper test. As it is rightly said, it is a collection of evidences of students' work over a period of time. It could be day-to-day work or selection of learners' best piece of work chosen by the student himself or herself. Yes, we have discussed right now, just a few sentences back, like the child decides which of the best piece of work has to go inside the portfolio. What the child feels. Maybe I'm very good in writing articles and I have written some article which have been published in the newspaper. So the child can file that article in the portfolio. Painters and commercial artists often uses the portfolio to demonstrate their skills and work before the selection committee. The portfolio, we have seen the painters, the artists, they carry their portfolio, their work, like charcoal painting, crayon, oil paint, and different types of artistic paints and paintings. Portfolio should take the form of journal or notebook that includes, besides classwork, students' artifacts to show their reflection. Yes, it's like a journal or a notebook. It includes everything that is done in the school, not as homework. So the child is taking part in different activities, different competition. The child is doing some project. All those go inside the portfolio. Portfolio. The portfolio can be seen both as a process and a product. As a process, why? The portfolio is not a one-time activity or a one-time assessment that is done. Portfolio is a process. It enables learners to monitor their own learning systematically. The child can go through his or her portfolio every few months. They can see where I went wrong, how I can improve myself, or they can assess themselves like, have I been better? Have I upgraded myself in my portfolio activities? So it enables learners to monitor their own learning systematically, reflect on their performance, redirect their effect, and set future goals. As a product, why we can say portfolio as a product? Yes, portfolio holds the performance records and documents. As we have discussed, the children are supposed to put the best work inside the portfolio. So every year they get a new portfolio that has to be done. The old portfolio, they have their work of that grade, the photographs of the different activities, their certificates. So it always builds a self-confidence in the child when a child goes through his or her portfolio. So it holds the performance records and documents a student has produced during the learning course and represents a collection of their learning achievement. Yes, they feel elevated, they feel good about their work, they see. So the portfolio should not be seen once a year. अगर बच्चा एक बार एक ही साल में एक ही बार अपना पोर्टफोलियो देखेगा तो क्या वो अपनी गलतियां सुधार पाएगा? No, it's not possible for us also. So it is the teacher who helps a child to understand that they should go through their portfolio every 2-3 months and see like what I have done before, how better I can do in the future. In like theme 1 or term 1, my work was like this. I had so many mistakes, or my writing was not very great, or my acting, my photographs. So what the child does, the child self-assesses himself or herself where and how he or she can correct their mistakes and make the portfolio better for the term 2. So now we have a question for the teachers. Like the first question, what does a portfolio record? We have seen what is a portfolio. I have told you what a portfolio has. So what does a portfolio record? A, marks they have got it in the written test, their personal details, their height, weight, evidence of students' work, what they have done, or their behavior.
Participant schools are requested to share the answer in the chat box. Chat box. Chat box में दिखेगा उसके बाद हाँ इसी स्कूल का नाम बताएंगे SVM बिहारीगंज ऑप्शन नंबर सी हैप्पी वैली स्कूल ऑप्शन नंबर सी तो आप इस तरह से स्कूल का नाम बताएंगे बोलेंगे और उसका ऑप्शन बताएंगे कि वो कौन क्या आंसर दे रहा है
ओके ओपन माइंड्स भागलपुर सी सुतारा मेही मिशन स्कूल सी बाल भारती विद्यालय सी तिलोत्तमा चौधरी सी
चलिए आनंद बताइए
So what does a portfolio record? Fast teachers, we are waiting for the answers. Yes, so the
answer B, personal detail. C, evidence of students' work.
Yes.
So, now it is time to show the answer.
Yes.
Every participant in school are requested to join actively. Whenever the question is asked during the session, you must have to put the answer so that we can understand your participation actively. Okay, so now it is time to show the answer.
The answer is C. You are absolutely correct. Okay, so now we are coming to the advantages of portfolio. What are the advantages? Why we do it? So firstly, first point is it records their learning and documents their growth. Yes, the portfolio records their learning, what they have learned, which type of activities they have done in which grade, and documents their growth. The documentation is done through the photograph, the articles, their certificates. Coming to the second point, engaging them in meaningful activities. When a child, we all are teachers, so when in a class we announce about, like today you will have an assessment. So what is the expression of the children? Yes, they feel scared. Oh my God, I know the answers, but still I'm scared because today is my assessment. When we are taking a portfolio, we don't tell children that it's an assessment. They do the activity in a joyful way. The learning is joyful and they don't know that they are being assessed. So it's a stress-free assessment. Engaging them in meaningful activities. So the teacher decides, according to their learning outcomes, they decide the different activities which they want their children to be assessed on. The third point, assessing complex aspects Yeah. Assessing complex aspects of subject rather than traditional form. The traditional form is pen and paper test. So instead of assessing only on the pen and paper test, we are assessing them by different activities. Fourth point, helps to focus on learning rather than the product. We don't focus only on the complete portfolio, that what is this portfolio all about. We also focus on the learning rather than the product. Learning is by different activities. Fifth point, helps in self-discovery and confidence building. So the portfolio act and self-enrichment activities, what they do? They help in self-discovery. The children, they understand that do I like to take part in music, or I like to take part in singing or dancing or in acting. What characteristics I have, what qualities I have. So it helps in self-discovery and obviously confidence building, because it's my portfolio. I am putting my pictures, my best work. So when I go through it, it helps to build self-confidence. The sixth point, develops their metacognitive skills. It actually helps them to understand and go through the activities, how I can do best. They keep trying for being the best. 7, method of self-discovery and confidence building. 8, becomes an active participant in learning and assessment process. Yes, I won't be able, as a student, when I know my teachers are giving me portfolio and I have to do, I have to take part in some activity, will I be absent on that day? No, I won't be. When you say there's an assessment, the child will think, oh, today my stomach is paining, I don't want to go to school, I'm very nervous, I don't want to give exam. But when we take the assessment in an activity form, so the child does not know I have been assessed, but the child is an active, it becomes active participant in learning and assessment process. So coming to the guidelines for using portfolio. Yes, the first point is identify purpose. What is my purpose for making a portfolio? Why I'm doing it? Because I know I cannot judge, I cannot test my students on a pen and paper test only. There are different skills that are involved, which can be assessed only through a portfolio. Second, select objects. Yes, as a teacher, I will be selecting the objectives, the learning outcomes. Think about the kinds of entries that will be the best match, keeping the outcome. The children will try to explore different points where they will think that this work should go in a portfolio. The teacher acts as a guide to help which is the best entry according to their learning outcomes. Fourth point, decide how much to include, how to organize, where to keep, and when to access the portfolio. So the teacher decides how much to include. Should we include all the activities we have done in the term 1 or the whole year? Or we should take only the essential activities which we think a portfolio should have. How to organize? We let them know that the best work goes in, like if the child has taken part in 5 dancing competition, so the teacher will tell that you can't file all the 5 competition pictures. You have to file some dancing pictures, some enactment, some your articles, some of your the work, like in maths you have created some quiz, so you have to file that. Where to keep? We have to keep. How to keep and where to keep is also guided by the teacher, like in the portfolio, how we should keep it, how to put it nicely, neatly, how to maintain your portfolio, how to keep it organized, and when to access the portfolio. Yes, it is if we let the child access the portfolio every day, then we will see the child will be wasting his or her time in the class assessing his or her portfolio, which is not possible. We have to meet the academic goals. So the teacher decides when to access the portfolio, like the time limit may be 2 months or 3 months, so that the children are focused in the academics also, and the portfolio keeps on moving with the academics. Decide who selects the entries. The entries are selected by the teachers and the students both. Not only the student will always feel all the entries should go inside my portfolio, but that is not possible. The portfolio also has its limitation. You cannot fill the portfolio with a stack of papers. So both the teacher and the student together, they decide which entries should go inside the portfolio. Set the criteria for judging the work. Rating scales, rubrics, checklist, and make sure that the student understands the criteria. Here, I would like to suggest, whenever as a teacher you are setting a criteria for judging the work, please include your students. Discuss with them the rubrics. What is the scale by which you should assess them? So it always goes in hand, like the teacher and the student together. Review the students' progress. Hold portfolio conferences with the students to discuss their progress. We have discussed this earlier also. It is very necessary to discuss the progress of each child. Let them go through their portfolio. Let them see how they can progress in their portfolio and make it better. So the question comes into mind, what does a portfolio include? क्या-क्या डाल सकते हैं उस portfolio में? क्या हम सारे papers डाल सकते हैं उसमें? No. Photographs. Any photograph? आपके घर के vacations का? No. Photographs of the role play. The children are taking part in dramatizations. Like if you have taught them a chapter, and you want like water cycle. So the science teacher has taught them water cycle. Now she wants how much you have understood water cycle. So she tells the children, like one of you become condensation, one of you become evaporation. So the child starts enacting like I'm water, so I'm boiling, and what is happening? And teacher can click the photographs. So the photographs of enactment, the role play. If as an English teacher, you have told them a novel or a story, let them enact. Tell them beforehand that prepare yourself for the enactment. Today we will have an activity. Photographs of those activities go inside the portfolio. Paintings and other example of artistic endeavor. Paintings, yes, some children are towards the artistic side. They don't want to write the articles, or they are not so intellectual. So the paintings with different themes, like if you've taught pollution in the class and you tell them, please go and write 4 points what you have understood about pollution. Rather than telling them to write the 4 points, we can tell them, yes, today is your art class. Come on, let us draw a polluted water figure or a polluted land, or you can show anything like you feel is full of pollution with the topic of pollution. Same way, jingles, poems, scripts written by students. Some students are very good in making poems. So you can ask them, like if you're not interested in drawing or painting I will take the same topic, pollution. So if you're not, you don't want to draw or paint, so what you can do, you can write scripts, paintings, I can see a raised hand. I'll answer you shortly, please. Okay, so the next is audio video recordings. Yes, the children can go for audio video recording also if they feel that I'm good at it. So the next point, puzzle, mathematical. It's a quiz, like the 1 minute, please. Sir, there is a raised hand. Anita, no problem. Raised hand.
They have raised hand.
Yes.
Okay.
What to do?
चैट बॉक्स में लिखना है रेज हैंड पर, क्या रेज हैंड से कुछ नहीं करने का,
ठीक है.
चैट बॉक्स में कुछ बोलेंगे. If you have any query, you write in the chat box.
Okay, so I'll continue. We were talking about portfolio. So a portfolio includes photographs, the different paintings. We have discussed jingle, poems, scripts, audio video recordings, and like puzzle, mathematical games, quiz. So how we can do that? If you want to do, we can encourage the children to make a puzzle of the pictures. They can make a puzzle by themselves, or they can design any game, a quiz. So we can tell them, like we can divide the children into a group of 5. And then we can tell them, now you frame 5 questions with a content. Like we have taught some content in the class. Now we can tell them, now this group makes 5 questions, another group make another 5 questions from different content. So what is happening? What is happening? We are letting the children go through the content. If they are framing the questions, obviously they have to go to the content. And if they are reading the content, half the work of the teacher is being done. आपके बच्चों ने content पढ़ भी लिया, उसमें से questions बना लिए. That means they are reading it. They are going through it. Now you don't have to keep on revising again and again. Moving to the next slide. Yes, they can also, portfolios can also include self-assessment sheets. So what are the self-assessment sheets? Self-assessment sheets have to be given by the teacher to the students. They can assess themselves. What are my strengths? मैं क्या चीज में अच्छा हूँ? What are my weakness? मैं क्या चीज में खराब हूँ? ताकि मैं उसको ठीक कर सकूं. So the children, they go through it. They see the observation, the analysis, all gets recorded in the self-assessment sheet. Same way, there is a reflective sheet which can go inside the portfolio. That is about the activities they have done, they have participated. Parent assessment sheets, we can also take parents' assessment, like they will give their view how the children are progressing, what they are lacking, where is their weakness or where is their strength. Observation records of the student, yes, that is maintained, that the record is made by the teacher, the observation record. And what does the student do? The student files it in the portfolio. The observation records has what the teacher has observed about the student. How actively, maybe the first time I have told my children to prepare a quiz. So some children were like, no, we can't do it. I can't make it. My English is bad. I don't know. मुझे नहीं आ रहा है. So the teacher, and the next time maybe the child को बहुत मजा आ रहा है. हाँ, I can frame the questions. मुझे तो आ रहा है. मैं भी बोल सकता हूँ. That observation goes in the observation record of a student. So the next question arises. I would like everyone to participate, please. The second question, a portfolio includes what? एक portfolio में क्या आ सकता है? Photographs, their medical prescription, the textbook, the chapters, or electric bills of the house? Yes, so Samshay Singh has replied A. Come on, teachers, we want more participation. Yes, Sutara Mehi Mission School A, New Era Public School A, Anand Public School A. New Era has already replied, Munger. Santosh Kumar Thakur A. St. Paul's Academy, Daryapur A. Happy Valley School, Bhagalpur A. Yes. Ramakrishna Vidya Mandir A. Jeevan A. So yes, the answer is A. The portfolio includes the photographs of different activities. Okay, that's great. Vipul Kumar Singh, yes, A. You're absolutely correct. Priti Kumari, yes. Bal Bharti Vidyalaya, yes. A. Okay, we are moving to the next slide. Sorry. Okay, assessing portfolios. That is also a very important point, how we should assess the portfolios. The students' portfolios can be effectively evaluated using a simple scoring rubric. The criteria needs to be carefully developed and shared with students. Some elements to judge the student's portfolio. Organization. I've already raised this point before. Organization, we give the grades for different activities in the portfolio. We don't see the complete portfolio. We see the activities. So organization deals with how neatly the children, they have filed their activities. We try to assess them through their creativity, how they have gone through different ways to make it more creative, more attractive, like visual appeal. It has to be beautiful. By visual appeal, I don't mean that they should go to a cafe and get a colorful printouts, a lot of colorful printouts and put inside their portfolio. No, the visual appeal is what activities they have done, how they have presented the activity. That is the visual appeal. Completion of guided work focused on specific curricular objective. It is like we always feel that as a teacher, my students will complete all my work. Yes, we do think of that, but it happens. It is very obvious that all the children of a class will not complete their work. Some children will always come, I have not done my work. So what we should do? Should we shout, give them punishment? No, we should try to encourage them. We should try to show them what is the advantage of getting your things done on time, how we are rewarding you. So the teacher should encourage the children to complete the work by their own. If they're not able to complete on time, okay, give them time. Tell them that, yes, you can do it. Encourage them, motivate them, and then let them do the work by their own. Third, evidences of students' growth. Portfolio, when you are assessing the portfolio, you always see that there is a difference in the work or not. Is the child same in the term 1 and in term 2? It's not possible. There has to be some change. Maybe the writing, maybe the thinking, maybe the way of expression. Something has to be different in the second assessment. So the teacher evidences the student's growth. Inclusion of all relevant work. As we have discussed, We don't put the stack of any paper or any activity we have done and just complete the portfolio. No, there has to be it has to be an inclusion where you have put the work purposefully and intentionally. The teacher is aware and has guided which activity should go and what not. Important points we should note about the portfolio, that it has to be maintained by the students. The portfolio has to be maintained only by the students, not by the teachers. Teachers don't have to maintain the portfolio. You just have to guide what you have to put, how you have to do it. Everything the teacher guides. They are not maintaining the portfolio. Second point, provide freedom to the children, to the students to maintain it as they wish. Yes, we give them the liberty so that they have the ownership of the portfolio. That ये मेरा portfolio है, मुझे इसको ऐसे डेकोरेट करना है, मुझे इसको अच्छे से रखना है, इसमें वाटर ना गिरे या फिर मैं उसमें कुछ गंदगी ना डालूं. So until and unless we give them the freedom to maintain, they won't be able to have the ownership. Third point, portfolio should cater to all aspects covered in the guidelines. We have discussed the guidelines that the portfolio should have the activities. The teacher is not helping them. She is just guiding. He or she is just guiding. Teachers to ensure that they see the portfolio 2 or 3 times a year and use the data to appreciate the student and help them move forward on their learning curve. Yes, if I see the portfolio once a year, मेरा year खत्म हो रहा है, मुझे assessment देना है, मैंने last में portfolio उठाया, flip किया, will I able to know where my child has progressed? I will be marking just randomly. I will not come to know that my child has progressed or not. So if I go through the portfolio every 3 or 4 months, then I will be able to understand where my student is lacking, which student is lacking, how I can help my student, how can I guide that student to progress. So it is very essential for a teacher to go through the portfolio 2 or 3 times a year. So the next question comes. Last question, we had very less participants. I would like you all to please participate. So the third question is, Dash compiles, sorry. Yeah, thank you. A Dash compiles work in the portfolio. Who compiles the work in the portfolio? A teacher, a student, parents, or school administration? Please answer.
Yes, you. From Anandram Dhandania Saraswati Vidya Mandir? Teachers. Option A. Now, to online part. For the new era public school होंगे. Option number B. Student.
Jivan. Option B.
Please take in part.
Sutara Mehi Mission School. Option B. Anand Public School A. Jivan B. Radha Raman B. Ramakrishna Vidya Mandir B. Sutara Mehi Mission School A. Happy Valley School A. Kashyap Rohit A. Jivan student. What is acha? Okay. Samsher Singh A. Vipul Kumar Singh A.
So from you?
St. Paul's Academy A.
Option number B. A. Someone asked A. Someone asked B.
Bal Bharati Vidyalaya A. Saurabh Kumar B.
Very interesting. A and B.
Jivan. Okay, Jivan, you have answered me a lot of times. I can see. That's it.
Okay, now it is time to show the answer. You come.
I'll tell the answer. So the answer is student. Teachers, you are not listening. You are not listening. A teacher never compiles work in a portfolio.
Very correct.
The The teacher will not file the work, because if you will do the work, what will the children do? Let the students file the work in their portfolio. So they will only decide, मेरा ये काम ज़्यादा अच्छा है कि मेरा ये नहीं अच्छा है. Why will we do on their behalf? If I tell the teacher to do the work of portfolio, so how the teacher will complete the academics? Teacher तो portfolio ही file करती रह जाएंगी. So it is the work that the teacher gives to the students, because let them do it, let them explore, let them have the ownership कि मेरा है, मुझे करना है, मैं teacher से क्यों करवाऊं? Okay, so moving on to the next slide. Okay, so my portfolio, what I have told you, I'm just doing a recap, a quick recap of the portfolio. So when I ask the question like, first, what goes inside the portfolio? Portfolio में क्या जाएगा? Stack of papers. कोई भी stack of papers लेंगे और सब portfolio में डाल देंगे? No. No? Photographs? Yes. So, correct. Very true. Different activities. What will go inside the evidence of students' work? हमारा काम नहीं जाएगा. The evidence of students' work, जो बच्चे का काम है, वो उसके अंदर जाएगा. That has to be purposeful. Without reason, कुछ भी दे दिया class work, any drawing दे दिया और हम उसमें डाल दिए. No. It has to have some purpose. So it will be intentionally filed. When does we do it? Yes, very true. Yes, videos will go inside. And when we do the portfolio, कब करते हैं portfolio? बस एक बार जब assessment का time आता है, जल्दी जल्दी लाओ, assessment कर देते हैं, वापस घर लेके जाओ. Yes, every 3-4 months. Yes, but all throughout the year. जैसे जैसे हमने lesson पढ़ाया, अगर हमने pollution पढ़ाया, तो क्या 3 महीने बाद उसका activity file करेंगे? No. हम उसी समय एक्टिविटी कराएंगे, फोटो क्लिक करेंगे, बच्चों को देंगे, बच्चे फाइल करेंगे. सो इट गोज ऑल अराउंड द ईयर. पूरे साल हम एक्टिविटी कराएंगे और पूरे साल हम फाइलिंग कराएंगे. हाउ वी आर डूइंग द पोर्टफोलियो? द स्टूडेंट्स, they will file the work inside their portfolio. Again and again, I'm telling you, the student will file, the teacher will not file. But there is a word of caution. अगर हम एक ही टाइप के एक्टिविटीज करवाते गए, हम बार बार बोल रहे चलो इनएक्ट, तो जो बच्चा इनएक्शन में इज नॉट गुड, कैन नॉट ड्रामेटाइज, तो उसकी तो पोर्टफोलियो में कुछ आएगा ही नहीं. सो इट इज टोटली द रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी ऑफ द टीचर कि टीचर मिक्स्ड एक्टिविटीज डाले, लाइक इनएक्टमेंट. समटाइम्स वी आर टेलिंग देम टू डांस, समटाइम्स वी आर टेलिंग देम टू प्रिपेयर अ क्विज, अ प्रोजेक्ट, get the cuttings from the newspaper. So different activities have to be decided by the teacher so that every student can find fun in the portfolio. Where the next question, where they have to do it? So the papers will go inside a journal or a notebook or a file. There is a file in Birla Open Minds. From K1, like KG1 till class 10, we have portfolio. And what are the teachers doing? We are filing we are giving them the portfolio. Let's file. Let's put our work inside. So what goes inside? Where it goes? The portfolio in a file or a journal or a notebook. Why? Why we need to file a portfolio? I want answer from the teacher sitting here. Why we need to have a portfolio? Reason? क्यों जरूरत है?
बताइए कोई.
Teachers, please participate. Sitting in front of me, आप portfolio पे इतना कुछ सुने हो, मैंने बताया. So why we need a portfolio? क्यों जरूरत है एक फाइल इंक्रीज करे क्लास में, उसमें खूब सारे पेपर्स डलवाएं, फोटोग्राफ्स डलवाएं, एक्टिविटीज करवाएं? Why can't we do जैसे हमारे साथ हुआ? हम स्कूल में पढ़े, हमारी टीचर्स ने पेपर दिया, फर्स्ट टर्म, सेकंड टर्म, थर्ड टर्म, ओके यू आर पास, यू गॉट द स्कोरिंग. सो व्हाई वी आर नॉट डूइंग अकॉर्डिंग टू दैट?
देखिए तो चैट बॉक्स में क्या बता रहा है.
Yes, very true, Mr. Jeevan, very true. So we are trying to make the assessment interesting. Assessment hum karenge, CBSE has told us, they have told internal assessment has to be divided in, including the portfolio. Yes, ma'am, very true. Why not? अगर बच्चे अपना काम खुद करते हैं तो yes, we are helping them to develop the personality. And in every subject there are different skills that has to be assessed. अगर हम पेन एंड पेपर टेस्ट लेते हैं तो क्या हम उनका listening skill बढ़ा सकेंगे? हम उनका speaking बढ़ा सकेंगे? Only reading and writing. So to assess them, assess their different skills, we need to have a portfolio and subject enrichment activities. So my portfolio is over, coming to the subject enrichment. There's a small video. Let's see the video, please. Thank you, sir. Let them see the video, then what we have seen in the video, like, बताइए teachers, आपने क्या देखा, इतना देर वीडियो देखा? Must have seen something, but क्या सिखाने का कोशिश किया गया मैथ्स में? Mathematics में क्या? Like what we have taught here? Correct. So there were different ways. Correct. They did fraction. Fraction में बच्चे mistake करते हैं. Class में हम बार-बार उनको बताते हैं board में. You don't have to do it as a class work. You can give them as a project. क्या हम इसको एक demonstrate करके project दे सकते हैं? Why not? So the easy way was shown for tables. Class 1, 2, 3, they don't know the tables. तो वो एक interesting form हो जाएगा that we are giving them as a project and not telling them write in your notebook. आप 10 बार लिख के लाइए, ये लाइए, वो लाइए. So that becomes very monotonous. बच्चे copy करते हैं 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, तो फटाफट copy करते हैं. So instead of letting them copy and making the thing boring, let's make it interesting by subject enrichment activities. So I have shown you in the video some subject enrichment activities that we can do as a school activity, or we can give them as projects. Activities that are aligned with the secondary school curriculum and aim at achievement of the understanding and skill development. Basically, what is subject enrichment activity? The activities that help us to add flavors to the subject. अगर आपको रोज एक simple खाना दे दिया जाएगा तो शायद आप भी नहीं खाओगे. But sometimes what we add some fruits or some different masala, or we decorate it. So it's the same thing. हम बच्चों को जो present कर रहे हैं वो हम थोड़ा सा better form में taste, हाँ, exactly, with different taste. तो हम उसको different way से present कर रहे हैं so that the children have this curiosity कि आज मैम नया क्या कराएंगी, क्या हम कुछ नया सीखने जा रहे हैं. So they learn better when they have a surprise with them. Okay, so it helps in in-depth learning. Yes, जब हम कुछ activity को खुद करते हैं तो we remember, we read it. मैंने आपको दिया, आपने PPT में पढ़ा, आपको याद भी नहीं रहेगा. If we hear it or see it, तो कुछ समय तक याद रहेगा, फिर भूल जाएंगे. पर जब हम वो काम खुद करते हैं, we learn it. So it provides in-depth learning. The activities, it throws challenge to the children to move to the next level. How to the next level? क्या class change हो जाएगा? अचानक से 3 से 4 में promote हो जाएंगे? No. You go a step ahead. जैसे हम games खेलते हैं different. हर एक जन mobile पे game खेलते हैं. So we go to level 3, level 4, 5. We go on increasing. The same way, when we throw challenge to the children, they start applying their knowledge, their creativity, and they move to the next level. It also provides the opportunity to explore their own interest. कि मेरा interest क्या चीज में है? Understanding the nature of a particular discipline. Staying in discipline, the children do the activities, they try to explore what are the different ways I can learn this subject. So next question has arisen, question number 4. Please see which of the following enrichment activities demonstrates the best practice. हम क्या ऐसा activity, enrichment activity में ऐसा क्या practice करें जो better होता है? A, asking higher level of questions. बड़े क्लास के questions पूछ लें, बच्चों को ज्यादा आ जाएगा. Moving a student to the next grade level. Providing extra homework, ज्यादा homework दे देते हैं, याद हो जाएगा. Making a student a peer tutor. Please give me the answer.
Which option is correct? C, providing extra homework.
D, making a student. I'm getting answer. Shamshed Singh D, Sutara Mehi Mission School D, Vipul Kumar Singh D, Preeti Kumari D.
Making a student a peer tutor.
Sonali Jha D, Happy Valley D, Anand Public School D, Columbus English Academy D,
ADS Vidya Mandir D.
New Era Public School D, Jeevan
Second
D.
option.
Jeevan, please, you are giving me 2-3 answers. Saurabh Kumar, STNC, Diksha D.
Most of them are giving the answer. Option number 4, at option D, making a student a peer tutor. So now you can tell what is the correct answer.
Okay, Satyendra Kumar D, Manju Kumari D. So yes, the answer is D. Moving, I just wanted you to get confused. B option, moving a student to the next grade level. Please, there's a catch. Next level नहीं लिखा हुआ है, grade level लिखा है. तो क्या हम उसको दूसरे grade में ही भेज देते हैं? No. So we make a student a peer tutor. हमसे बच्चे डर जाएंगे, नहीं समझेंगे. So what happens when we make a group? We go for group activity. एक दूसरे को देख के सीखते हैं. अच्छा उसने ये ड्राइंग किया, अगले बार मैं करूंगा. ओ ये इसको यूज करना जानता है, कैसे करता है, मैं भी सीखूंगा. So the answer is D. Okay. So the time is getting over. Let's just see languages. I have discussed. So languages, reading, writing. So that is assessed by the pen and paper. So through the subject enrichment activities, we focus on listening and speaking skills, developing it. बच्चों को कुछ सुनाते हैं paragraph, or we give them instructions of drawing, like draw an inverted triangle, make a small circle on it, and make another smaller circle on it. So they see that, yes, we have made an ice cream. So that was very easy when they listen. Teachers use excerpts for relevant suitable literature, develop vocabulary and heighten students' awareness and sensitivity. So through subject enrichment activities, we help them in their language. Same with the science and mathematics. If you are teaching something in your class without the lab experiment, will they understand? They will not understand. You tell them acid bases, nahi samajh mein aayega. When you take them to the lab, they perform the activity. Unko us samay zyada samajh mein aayega by observing, by exploring. Same with the maths. We have maths laboratory. Maths lab mein aap leke jaiye, bachcho ko saman dijiye, let them explore, let them take them out and say, there's a tree. Chalo dekhte hain what we have learned in the class. Hum sums karte hain. Let's see how we can calculate about the tree, how tall it is, what is the total area. So there the children start using their mathematics skill. Students need to be encouraged to raise questions, generate hypotheses. They do experiments, innovate, and find solutions to the problems. Then comes the social science. Social science, it deals with the art and culture and include development of life skills too. So perceptions of a special way of understanding and responding to work. When we make the subject very interesting, like we have taught about them, we have taught them about the different countries. So give them the flags and give them a world map and tell them, let's flag it. Chalo lagate hai, ye kaun sa country hai. Let them put the flags. They will start identifying. Class mein unhone kitna dhyan diya, aapko samajh mein aayega. Tell them to go to the history. If you are teaching anything like about Ashoka, so tell them, go through the books or encyclopedia, go to library, do a research, come with something, how Ashoka got here, why, which period, what used to happen that time. So exploring into ideas and meaning through works of artists, experts, poets, the student will develop imagination and critical awareness. अगर हम उनको exposure देते हैं, project देते हैं, so they start reading, वो ढूंढने लगते हैं उसके बारे में, explore करते हैं, and they start imagining, अच्छा उस समय ये होता था, अच्छा इस समय ऐसा writing था, इस तरह से लिखा जाता था. So let us take them to that era when we are teaching. Subject enrichment activities is a part of lesson plan. We use different tools like we have seen in the video. हम form use कर रहे हैं, कभी हम blocks use कर रहे हैं. Blocks parents को लगता है क्या खेलने का चीज है, क्या फर्क पड़ता है बच्चे खेले ना खेले. But it helps in so many things. आप block से बच्चों की imagination create करते हैं when they playing it. बच्चे कुछ imagine करके बनाते हैं, आज मैंने ये बनाया. So we have seen the activity of maths, of fraction with the blocks. Teachers to focus not only on the content of each subject. हम सिर्फ जितना पढ़ाना है lesson plan में है उतना पढ़ाया और निकल गए. It is always good that we take them to the larger picture. हम उससे थोड़ी सी history बताएं, ये क्या हुआ था, कैसे हुआ था. So the curiosity starts in the student. उनको भी आदत रहेगी कि जितना पढ़ाया उतना ही पढ़ के घर नहीं जाना है. The teacher has told us, so हम भी ढूंढे ये कैसे हुआ, ताजमहल यहाँ क्यों बना, पहले कहाँ बनने वाला था, कौन सा मार्बल यूज होने वाला था. So we are the ones who give them the larger picture. Teachers should be well prepared to handle the 21st century learner by equipping themselves with the latest pedagogical strategies and assessment practices. So the last question of today's training, which of the following is not an example of enrichment activity? I have given you options. कौन सा option enrichment activity नहीं है? Experiments, good handwriting, role play, and no fire cooking. Let me tell you, no fire cooking is a part where हम बच्चों को सामान देते हैं और बोलते हैं assemble करो. जैसे हम शरबत बनाने देते हैं कि रोज सिरप है, water है, चलो mix करो, देखो क्या होता है. So no fire cooking is always a part of academics. So let us see which is the correct answer. Please think. Yes. Sir, ये chat. Sir, ये chat में please help कर दीजिए. कहाँ से भी आया है?
वहां से बोलिए ना.
नहीं आया कहाँ से?
ये चैट बॉक्स यहाँ से चैट पर क्लिक करने से आता है आगे.
करेक्ट, पर अभी आंसर कहाँ से आया है?
यहाँ पे देखिए, यहाँ पे जीवन जीवन है, न्यू हॉराइजन स्कूल है, ये नाम
से नेक्स्ट नीचे ही होगा. वो तो पहले वाले का है. So we have Suraj Mishra, Diksha School B, Satyendra Kumar B, Happy Valley B, Vipul Kumar Singh B. So we have schools, teachers who are answering. Yes, this I've read. Suraj Mishra B, Sutara Mahi Mission D, Jeevan B, Happy Valley School B, Sneha Priya D, St. Paul's B, Satyendra Kumar, I have already read B. That's my school, Build Open Minds. Sneha Priya is D, Jeevan is D, New Era is D. So basically the answer is B, not D. B is good handwriting. Do we assess a child with the handwriting? अगर उसने अच्छे से activity किया है, तो क्या handwriting ले उसका marks काट लेंगे? No. We don't judge a child with the handwriting. Yes, experiments and subject enrichment is experiment is a part of enrichment activity. Role play, dramatization is a part. No fire cooking is a part where we keep things with the children and they assemble it. कभी लोग burger बनाते हैं, कभी शरबत बनाते हैं, कभी puffed rice snack बनाते हैं. So that is a subject enrichment activity. So I have answered all the questions like subject enrichment, क्या करते हैं, किस तरह से करते हैं, कब करते हैं, all throughout the year teachers plan करती हैं और ये करने से it helps the child to actively participate. It helps the child to learn better. अगर हम enrichment activities करते हैं तो कोई भी बच्चा subject को ज़्यादा अच्छा सीख पाएगा. Thank you so much. With this, I'm concluding my session. Thank you.